Hello children, welcome to the science video session. Today you are going to learn the lesson, the cell from biology of standard 6. Come, let's get started with the lesson. Unit 5, the cell. Introduction. Observe the two pictures given. Do you observe any similarity between them? Now close your eyes and imagine a brick wall. What is the basic building block of the wall? A single brick. Of course. Like a brick wall, your body is composed of basic building blocks and are named as cells. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of every living organism. The cell is self-sufficient to carry out all the fundamental and essential functions of an organism. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn the cell. The cell. All living things are made of one or more cells, from amoeba to human. There are a variety of cell types, however, they all have some common characteristic feature. Come, let's learn about it. Can you see a cell with your naked eye? Impossible. Cells are very minute and said to be microscopic, cannot be seen with your naked eyes. They can be observed only through a specialized scientific instrument called microscope. Nowadays, an electron microscope is used to magnify the cells and observe the cells. The microscope and scientific microscope is shown in the picture. Discovery of the cell. The Englishman Robert Hooke was a scientist, mathematician and inventor. He improved microscope which was used in those days and built a compound microscope. He placed water lens beside the microscope to focus the light from an oil lamp on specimens to illuminate them brightly, so that he able to see the minute parts of the objects clearly. In the picture you can see where is the compound microscope, the flame, the water lens and the specimens which was seen brightly. One day, Hooke made thin sections of the cork and observed them through his microscope. He observed many small identical chambers which were hexagonal in shape. He was surprised. The cork tissue and the drawing by Hooke is shown in the picture. After that, he saw many objects like butterflies' wings, bees' compound eyes, etc. Based on these observations, Hooke published a book named Micrographia in the year 1665, where he first used the term cell. He described the structure of tissue using the term cell. In Latin, the word cellula means a small chamber. The branch of science that deals with study of cells is called cell biology. The structural organization of the cell. A typical cell consists of three major parts: an outer cell membrane, a liquid cytoplasm, and a nucleus. Analogous to the body's internal organ like eyes, heart, lungs, organelles are specialized structure and perform valuable functions necessary for normal cellular operation. Many of minuscule, that means extremely small, but distinct structures called organelles lie within the cell. So inside the cell there are minute organelles. Next, size of the cell. The size of cells may vary from a micrometer to a few centimeters. Micrometer is nothing but it's a million of a meter. Most cells are microscopic and cannot be seen with the naked eye. They can be observed only through the microscope. Smallest size of the cell is present in bacteria. The size of the bacterial cell ranges from 0.01 micrometer to 0.5 micrometer. Example, the mycoplasma. The size of the mycoplasma is 0.1 micron. On the other hand, the largest cell is the egg of an ostrich with 170 millimeter width. We can see this with the naked eye. And in human body, the nerve cells are believed to be the longest cell. Do you know cell size has no relation to the size of an organism? It is not necessary that the cells of, say, an elephant be much larger than those of a mouse. Let's do an activity to know the structure of a single cell by using hen's egg. So to observe the structure of a single cell, we need hen's egg and a plate. So what is the method to do the activity? Simple. Crack the shell and break open the egg in a plate. Now observe. The egg has a yellow part and a transparent part surrounding it. The white transparent part, that is albumin, is jelly-like and represents the cell's cytoplasm. While the yellow part, that is yolk, is thicker and represents the cell's nucleus. On the internal side of the shell, we can see a thin membrane-like structure which represents the cell membrane. So, what is the cytoplasm in an egg? Yes, the jelly-like. Then, the yolk is the nucleus. Shapes of the cell. Cells are of different shapes. For example, the nerve cell, which is in long branched shape. Then the red blood cell, which is spherical in shape. Then the muscle cell, which is spindle in shape. Number of cells. The number of cells present in different organisms may vary. Organisms may be either unicellular, that is single cell, or multicellular. Organisms such as bacteria, amoeba, chlamydomonas, yeast, and paramecium are unicellular, that is single cell organisms. On the other hand, organisms such as Spirogyra, mango, and human beings are multicellular, that is made up of a few hundreds to million cells. Do you know approximate number of cells in the human body is 3.7 into 10 to the power of 13 or 37 trillion. Ranges of cell size from small to large. Okay, first we can start with the virus. So virus is the smallest cell. Bacterium cell is larger than the virus. Then the plant cell is larger than the bacterium cell. Then the human egg is larger than the plant cell. Then the frog egg is larger than the human egg. Then the hen's egg is larger than the frog egg. Then the ostrich egg is larger than the hen's egg. So we already seen that the ostrich egg is the largest cell. Types of cell. Generally, cells are classified into two types. First one is prokaryotic cell. It has no true nucleus consisting of no nuclear membrane. In the given picture, you can see in the prokaryote there is no well-defined nucleus. Another one is eukaryotic cell. It has true nucleus consisting of nuclear membrane. Prokaryotic cell. The unicellular organisms like bacteria has prokaryotic cells. It has no true nucleus. This type of nucleus is called as nucleoid. No nuclear membrane is around this nucleoid. These cells were the first form of life on Earth. It is ranging from 0.003 to 2.0 micrometer in diameter. Example, the Escherichia coli bacteria or E. coli bacteria. The structure of Escherichia coli is shown in the picture. You can see the chromosome, flagellum, outer membrane and inner membrane and not the nucleus. So there is no well-defined nucleus in the Escherichia coli. There is no nuclear membrane. Eukaryotic cell. Cells which has two nucleus is called as eukaryotic cell. That is nucleus with nuclear membrane. It is bigger than prokaryotic cells. Its organelles bounded by membrane. Example, plants, animals, most of the fungi and algae. Inside the eukaryotic cell, you can see the organelles, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, cytoplasm, ribosome, lysosome, Golgi body, and mitochondria. Classification of cell. Cells are classified into two types, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells has no true nucleus. Example, bacteria and cyanobacteria. In eukaryotic cell, there is true nucleus. Example, plant cells and animal cells. Differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. In prokaryotic cell, the size of the cell ranges from 1 to 2 micron in diameter. In eukaryotic cell, its diameter ranges from 10 to 100 micron. In prokaryotic cell, there is absence of membrane-bound organelles, but in eukaryotic cell, there is presence of membrane-bound organelles. In prokaryotic cell, nucleus consisting of no nuclear membrane. But in eukaryotic cell, there is true nucleus consisting of nuclear membrane. In prokaryotic cell, there is absence of nucleoli, but in eukaryotic cell, there is presence of nucleoli. Plant cell and animal cell. Both plant and animal are made up of cells. Both cells are eukaryotic in nature, having a well-defined membrane-bound nucleus. First, we are going to see the plant cell. It is usually larger in size. It is hard in nature. Plant cells have a cell wall in addition to the cell membrane, which is giving rigidity to the cell. Plant cells have chloroplast which contain chlorophyll, which is helpful in synthesizing the food. Plant cells have large vacuoles and the centrioles are absent. Inside the plant cell, you can see the organelles like Golgi apparatus, chloroplast, nucleus, nucleolus, endoplasmic reticulum, cell wall, mitochondria, and the large vacuole. Animal cell. Animal cells are generally smaller than plant cell. It is not so hard as plant cell. A cell wall is absent, chloroplast is usually absent, an animal cell may have many small vacuoles, but in plant cell there is large vacuole. Centrioles are found in animal cells but not in plant cells. Inside the animal cell, you can see the organelles like nucleus, nucleolus, ribosome, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, centriole, Golgi body, and lysosome. Three-dimensional cell structure, which give the answer of how does a cell look like, what is its shape and size. The cell given in the picture has a three-dimensional view. We can see the three sides of the cell structure. We can also view the size, shape, and location on the organelles of the cell also. So 3D view is appealing because it is more like reality. In 3D, we can see the entire view of the cell. It exposes the accurate size and shape and shows the correct location of the cell organelles. Cell components and their functions. The cell components are cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm, mitochondria, chloroplast, vacuoles, nucleus, nucleus membrane. Let's see their functions and their special name. First one, cell wall. The functions of cell wall are surrounds and protects the cell, makes the cell stiff and strong. The special name of the cell wall is supporter and protector. Next, cell membrane. The function holds and protects the cell, controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. So it is called gate of the cell. Next, cytoplasm. A watery gel-like material in which cell parts move. So it is called area of movement. Next, Mitochondria. It's produce and supply most of the energy of the cell. So it's called powerhouse of the cell. Next, chloroplast. The functions are contain green pigment chlorophyll, capture the energy of sunlight and use it to produce food for the cell by photosynthesis. So it is called food producers for the cell, only for plant cell. Next component, vacuole. It stores food, water and chemicals. So the special name of the vacuole is storage tanks. Next, nucleus. It acts as a brain of the cell. It regulates and controls all the cell activity. So it is called control center. Next, nucleus membrane. The functions are surrounds and protects the nucleus, control the movement of materials in and out of the nucleus. So it is called gate of the nucleus.